Okay, the Tetractys, Pythagoreans swore an oath on the Tetractys, and the continuation, the basics, well, that's what's termed sacred geometry. There's some stuff out, anyway. The Tetractys, the same basic methods and tools and geometric constructions. How they incorporate a whole bunch of very interesting knowledge, especially connected to Pythagorean knowledge. So as always, we're going to start with the vesica. And so the vesica, two circles, the center of the second on the edge of the first. And now we'll extend that once more to what's sometimes called the double vesica Pisces. And now extend it further to create what's called the seed of life, which is essentially the basics of the hexagon. But you'll see it. There's the seed of life, there's the flower of life, and then there's the fruit of life. So seeds, they come from seeds, flowers, and from flowers comes fruit. But the Tetractys, it's in here, so usually that's looks something like that. The Tetractys, am I all in shot? Yep, well, it's here in the vesica as well. So, and if you draw the seed of life in this particular way, because if you were to draw it at 90 degrees from here, well, it's still there, but it's sideways. So we have our change. So we have. And now we have a equilateral triangle, and then we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, so here we see a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is interesting because of multiple connections, but just for the moment we also have music. So we have 2 and 3, and I should highlight the 4th as well. And so what do we have? So 2 over 3 is the perfect 5th in music, and then we have 3 over 4, which is the proportion for the perfect 4th in music. But while we're on this, famous the US dollar bill, 13 leaves, 13 arrows, 13 colonies with those stripes there, but there are 13 stars arranged above there. It's often said this has to do with a certain religion, but it's not. It's a universal geometric of geometric importance. And so, like, again, just highlight 1, 2, and essentially what we have is this construction there inside the US dollar bill. And by that I mean that we already have the equilateral triangle, but I'll include a little pic to highlight it. But now include this one, that one, and this one. You can see now we're using all the intersection points, and we have what's usually thought of as the Star of David. But this is important in geometry, especially in platonic solids. So this is a two-dimensional construction, but when we make the, for instance, a three-dimensional dodecahedron, 12 sides around the 13th point, well, this would also connect, because if we have 13 spheres, you can imagine, I've got an animation stored somewhere where it includes this. So we would have 12 spheres around the 13th being the core, and 12 spheres wrapped around a central sphere, all of equal size, perfectly meets up. So just like the hexagon is a wonderful, very efficient two-dimensional construction, the 13th is, well, the dodecahedron, which is also connected. It's referred to as heaven. So we have earth, wind, fire and water, and the dodecahedron being special amongst the platonic solids, it is referred to as heaven. So again, basics, music, geometry, arithmetic, and this of course will also, there's a lot of astronomical connections in here as well, but this is some of the symbolism that's, well, part of our pop culture, our collective subconscious, and geometry, Euclidean geometry, if you don't like the term sacred, but sacred geometry has to do with, well, let's just say holistic, because we're bringing many schools together, and especially as it's expressed in sacred architecture, the great cathedrals, pyramids, temples, all of these incorporate this system of knowledge, compass and straight edge, leading, of course, that's two-dimensional, then that leads to three-dimensional, and so the Tetractys, it's a pretty cool thing, worth looking into. Pythagorean thought, music, all these types of things connected, symbolism, and have a good one.